What is going on, guys? This is Doug with 4-Wheel Drive Trek, and I got my buddy Zach today. This is his 95 Jeep Wrangler YJ, and this is going to be the quick and super easy way to replace this radiator. This is a manual, so we don't have to worry about the transmission cooler lines going through there. So I will point out where they're at if you're going to be doing this on an automatic, but this is going to be the basic swapping out that radiator. Let's jump to it. You're going to want to empty out the radiator fluid first before you start pulling that radiator out. Otherwise, you are going to make a mess. You don't want to just dump this into a storm drain because it is bad chemicals and it'll kill the fishies. Don't want to kill the fishies. So you're going to be looking for a wing nut or a plastic twisty nut. It's going to be on your passenger side down at the bottom of your radiator, and you're just going to twist it till it'll start leaking. And you want to catch it in a bucket or some sort of container you can take to your local auto parts store and recycle that fluid. So basically you're going to wait until it's all empty. Fun tip for you. Wait till it's cooled off. Don't do this when it's hot. It sucks. It will burn your hands. You're going to have two hoses for the radiator. You're going to have the upper hose and the lower hose. Upper hose is where the fluid comes from the engine to the radiator. Lower hose, coolant goes back into the engine. So we're going to pull the top hose off here. Very easy access. And then directly down on the driver's side, you got another hose down there. Easier to access if you get down underneath and reach up and grab it. So just as a heads up, the bottom radiator hose will have coolant coming out of it, so be mindful of that. Make sure you have your bucket ready to catch all that extra coolant. And 100% guarantee this will make a mess. See, there's a little coolant right there. You got this power steering here, got 1/2 inch on top, and you're gonna have to hold it on the back side by a 1/2 inch wrench. Now you can remove the power steering completely if you want, but that to me is way too much mess. I'm just gonna tuck it to the side. You're gonna have to remove the radiator fan shroud. There's gonna be 4 bolts on them. You have 2 on either side. You got 2 on top, 1 on either side here. You have 2 on the bottom, 1 driver's side, 1 passenger side. Pull those off, and we're going to be tucking this fan shroud towards the engine across the fan, so you don't have to take the fan shroud out and you don't have to take the fan off. That's going to save us a lot of time right there, and I'll show you how. Previous owner did not put the right size bolts back on either side, so it's supposed to be 1/2 inch bolts on either side. You might have to figure that one out yourself. For the record, this is not Zach doing this. It is the radiator. All this stuff was done when we bought it. If you previously owned this Jeep, let me know in the comments below. Why did you do this? Here's a fun tip. You don't have to take the fan shroud completely out. If you literally pull it towards the front of the engine here, it gives you all the clearance you want for getting access to pulling out this radiator. So let's start pulling the bolts off this guy. So you're going to have 3 nuts on either side of the radiator you're going to be pulling out, and they're going to be a 7/16. I didn't check both sides, so I'm hoping it's the same on both sides, but you're going to be pulling the nuts off of the actual the bolt itself, and then the radiator is going to slide off those bolts. Yeah. If you notice, you do have a hole here for easy access, so you can use a wrench if you want to, but you can also use an impact gun or that ratcheting wrench that we're going to be using. So I just realized that, so I'm going to use that instead of this wrench.
What happened, Doug?
So, if you drop a nut in your coolant bucket... Yeah. By the way, this is not all the coolant. There's no issues with any fluids. This is just my everything bucket that kind of gets poured into, so... He does not have oil in his radiator. Now it's time to do the last minute checks to make sure there is no extra things attached to your radiator. Now again, that previous owner clipped absolutely everything to the radiator. So I still have a couple more things to clip off here. So now that the radiator is nice and free, making sure that the bottom radiator hose outlet is clearing the fan belt, or the fan shroud here. And just so you know, there's likely going to be still a little bit of coolant left in here. Dump that out before you set her down. As you can see, this radiator is so bad. I'm guessing the fan hit this at least once. I'm not sure how. Maybe this came loose and it fell over, hit the fan, because that's gnarly. So since we don't have an automatic transmission, we don't have the little plugs down here at the bottom. That's for the automatic transmission cooler. All the fluid from the transmission cycles through to cool it down. Thus the cooler. Anyway, so if your YJ is going to be an automatic, you are going to have to disconnect those two hoses and transmission fluid will come out of that. So just as a heads up. Because of that, you are going to have to put transmission fluid back in the system through the dipstick. Just as a heads up on there. And courtesy of Rock Auto. Ooh. What do you think? Look a little better, Zach?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that I got the radiator back on those bolts, it's as simple as putting all the nuts back on, and then putting the bolts back on the radiator fan shroud, and then filling up some coolant. I'm not going to record that because that's boring, so let's jump to the filling up the radiator coolant. Now the fun part. Give her the juice. You like the juice? Saturday Night Live from back in the 90s. Anyway, you want to get a nice funnel. Something's going to fit in there, and you're going to start filling this guy up. This is going to take a little while. The coolant does have to burp out of the system. Since it's a brand new radiator, there's going to be obviously a lot of air in there. So just keep on filling it until no bubbles come out. All them bubbles. That's good. Once you get to the point that the radiator is not burping any more coolant, you're going to want to turn the engine back on. What you want to do is have that coolant inside that funnel and let the engine get up to operating temperature. That way the thermostat's going to open itself up and it's going to start cycling through and it's going to suck a lot more coolant down in there. And you are pretty much done. So then you're going to put that top back on, cap it up, go drive around. So if you definitely like this video and you want to see more of this guy and his Jeep on this channel, hit that subscribe button for us and maybe we can convince him to get out there and wheel it with us. Yeah, but that requires you guys hitting that like button and subscribe for me, so definitely do that. Anyway, so I'll see you guys next time. Blooper reel. Zach, I don't know if that's appropriate for YouTube.
Sorry.
Let's pull them hose.
We cut that out.
Open it up. Pull it out.
I got all them hose.
It is nutted on the backside. How dare they nut it? Don't drop your nuts where they can get wet.
Probably.
Not looking forward to that one.
Oh, we're recording.
Oh.
Stomach after a night full of Taco Bell.
Grody. Or mine after Arby's. Ooh.